Oh, ChatGPT Ds. The first half of the 2025 Formula One season has been nothing short of frustrating for Red Bull Racing. The Austrian team, once a symbol of dominance, has not only lost ground to rivals like McLaren and Mercedes, but is now facing technical limitations so severe that even Max Verstappen's extraordinary talent is no longer enough to compensate. According to Paolo Felicetti, an expert analyst for Racing News 365, the root of Red Bull's struggles lies in the very conception of their current car, the RB21. Felicetti argues that the RB21 inherited all of the RB20's deficiencies without any of them being truly resolved. Instead of addressing core structural issues, Red Bull's updates throughout the season, in Japan, Miami, Imola, and Austria, were little more than stopgaps. They patched problems rather than innovating solutions, Felicetti noted. One glaring issue is with the car's front-end design. The RB21's front assembly is too stiff, and in rapid changes of direction, it transfers excessive weight to the rear of the car. This imbalance destabilizes the vehicle, even for Verstappen, who is renowned for adapting to tricky machinery. In Miami, Red Bull experimented with floor modifications exclusive to Verstappen's car, hoping for a breakthrough. But while the tweaks offered minor gains in certain scenarios, they failed to deliver consistent performance improvements. What's particularly telling is Red Bull's strategy to adapt the RB21 to Verstappen's driving style rather than pursuing a holistic development path. While this approach might seem logical, after all, Verstappen has carried the team to most of its points. It has created a development deadlock. Instead of evolving the car for long-term competitiveness, Red Bull finds itself constantly trying to adjust to Verstappen's needs in the short term. The British Grand Prix at Silverstone starkly illustrated this dilemma. In an effort to gain speed on the straights, Red Bull opted to strip the RB21 of much of its rear wing downforce. The result? Verstappen was quicker over single laps, but lost significant stability in high-speed corners and was especially vulnerable when the rain arrived. Once the track conditions shifted, the car's lack of balance became glaringly obvious, and even Verstappen's immense skill couldn't save the race. The pressing question now is whether Verstappen can still fight on equal footing with the increasingly strong McLaren, Ferrari, and Mercedes challengers in the second half of the season. On circuits where aerodynamic efficiency is less critical, there may be opportunities for Red Bull to shine. But in the paddock, the consensus is growing that Red Bull's era of dominance is truly over. Insiders believe there's little more the team can do to claw back significant performance this year. Adding to the uncertainty is Verstappen's future. The Dutchman's contract runs through 2028, but speculation about potential exit clauses has intensified amid Red Bull's struggles. The idea of Verstappen seeking a fresh start with a new team in 2026, perhaps Mercedes or even Aston Martin, no longer feels far-fetched. For Red Bull, the situation is precarious. Their once dominant car has become a symbol of stagnation, and their development philosophy appears to have hit a wall. What began as isolated missteps has now evolved into a clear and persistent decline in competitiveness. If they can't turn the tide, the repercussions could extend far beyond 2025, possibly reshaping the entire team's trajectory in the coming years. Before we dive in, I want to know your opinion in the comments. Do you prefer the full combustion engines of the past, like the screaming V8S and V10S? Or are you a fan of the current hybrid engines in Formula One? Now, while debates heat up around a potential return of V8 engines to F1, Honda has made its stance crystal clear. They remain fully committed to electrification. This statement came directly from Honda's president, Koji Watanabe, who emphasized that electrification is essential for the sustainable future of the sport. This position from Honda contrasts sharply with that of FIA President Mohammed bin Sulayem, who earlier this year suggested that F1 should reconsider the 2026 engine regulations. Bin Sulayem proposed a return to simpler, fully combustion-powered V8 engines by 2029. His argument? To cut complexity, reduce costs by over 50%, and make the sport more accessible for new engine manufacturers. Currently, developing an F1 power unit can cost upwards of $200 million, and each engine unit ranges between $1.80 to $2.10 million. According to bin Sulayem, This shift back to V8s already has the backing of several F1 teams and stakeholders. He believes that going back to a simpler engine architecture would reignite the raw, visceral appeal of Formula One while alleviating financial pressure on teams. But Honda disagrees entirely. Watanabe reinforced that Honda's vision for F1's future is tied to cutting-edge hybrid technology and sustainable fuels. He stated that Honda intends to keep Formula One as the pinnacle of motorsport innovation, and that means pushing forward with electrification, not stepping back. It's worth noting that Honda, which currently supplies power units to Red Bull Racing, will become Aston Martin's official engine partner from 2026. Their work on this next-generation hybrid power unit is already well underway. Watanabe made it clear that if F1 abandons its hybrid path for a return to 100% combustion engines like V8s, Honda would likely withdraw from the sport altogether. Their strategy is focused on hybridization and environmental responsibility, aligning with their global automotive goals. So this raises a big question about the future direction of Formula One. Will the sport stick to its hybrid roadmap and sustainable fuel development? Or could the growing calls for a return to the old-school V8s eventually tip the scales? What do you think? Would you like to see the thunderous V8s roar back into F1? Or do you believe Honda is right in insisting that hybrids and electrification represent the true future of the sport? Oh, ChatGPT Ds. Gabriel Bortolito hasn't hidden his admiration for Max Verstappen, and now that the two share the Formula One grid, their relationship goes far beyond just being competitors on the track. In a recent interview with Motorsport.com, Bortolito made a bold statement that immediately caught the attention of fans and the paddock alike. In his eyes, Verstappen belongs at the very top of Formula One history, right alongside the legendary Ayrton Senna. For the young Brazilian, Verstappen is not just another talented driver. Bortolito describes him as the most complete driver of his era, a racer who combines calm under pressure, exceptional technical understanding, and a mastery of extracting every ounce of performance from the car at his disposal. Max has this rare ability to push to the limit and still remain completely in control, said Bortolito. He's calm on the radio, precise with feedback, and always knows how to manage a race from start to finish. That's what makes him, for me, one of the greatest of all time. This admiration isn't something new. The two drivers first connected in the virtual racing world years ago, where Bortolito, still a rising star in junior categories, got his first chance to interact with Verstappen during sim racing sessions. According to the Brazilian, Verstappen was already generous with his time and advice even back then, offering insights about racecraft and mindset. Now, with Bortolito debuting in Formula One with Sauber in the 2025 season, Verstappen has continued to play a supportive role. Behind the scenes, the Dutchman reportedly spoke highly of Bortolito to influential figures in the paddock, including Sauber team boss Alessandro Alunni Bravi and even Red Bull Racing's former sporting director Jonathan Wheatley. Such endorsements, while subtle, may have played a part in helping Bortolito secure his seat in the highly competitive world of F1. But Verstappen's mentorship didn't stop there. Bortolito revealed in the interview that Max offered him strategic advice during his rookie year, including which tire compound to choose for his debut race in Australia, a suggestion that helped Bortolito finish just outside the points in his very first Grand Prix. And during qualifying at the Austrian Grand Prix, Verstappen gave Bortolito a tow down the straights, helping him improve his lap time significantly. Those are things you don't expect from a rival, but Max sees the bigger picture. He wants to see young talent succeed, Bortolito explained. This budding friendship is becoming one of the more fascinating narratives in Formula One, a young rookie looking up to an established champion, with their bond going beyond just professional respect. Bortolito even admitted that Verstappen's approach to racing, his work ethic, and his ability to handle pressure are qualities he aspires to emulate. However, Bortolito's statement also adds fuel to a long-standing debate among fans and pundits. Is Max Verstappen already one of the greatest drivers in F1 history? With 4 world titles under his belt, a dominant era with Red Bull, and a reputation for clinical performances in all conditions, many argue he has earned a place alongside icons like Ayrton Senna, Michael Schumacher, and Lewis Hamilton. Others, however, believe that longevity and adaptability across different eras and machinery are key criteria for GOAT status. something Verstappen will still need to demonstrate in the years to come. There's also the question of how Verstappen's future might unfold. With Red Bull facing internal turmoil and rivals like McLaren and Mercedes closing the performance gap, Verstappen's ability to maintain dominance in a shifting competitive landscape could further cement his legacy. If he were to switch teams and succeed elsewhere, that might even silence the few remaining doubters. For Bortolito, though, the answer is already clear. To me, Ayrton Senna is the greatest for what he represented to Brazil and Formula One. But Max is the Senna of this generation. What he's doing now is rewriting what it means to be dominant in this sport, he concluded.